Season 5 for Cold War Zombies is finally here, and with it brings a load of new content, some changes, and even some secrets, and we're going to be going over every one of them in this video. So strap yourself in because we've got a lot to cover. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. If you want to be extra awesome and you're getting the Season 5 Battle Pass, the pop code Dalek in your supported creator in the store. But the first thing we've got to talk about is the brand new perk Death Perception. Now when this perk was first announced, it was memed in the community. No one wanted to see this perk return, and people didn't have high hopes, but I'm really happy to report that this perk is actually a lot better than we assumed. I've done some thorough testing to show you just how good this perk is. So the original effects of this perk in Black Ops 4 allow you to see zombies through walls. If you don't upgrade the perk, that is all the perk is going to do for you, and admittedly it's not great. But realistically, who's going to be using this perk and never upgrading it to tier 5? You know what I mean? But when this thing's tier 5, this perk is actually amazing. Like, I can't believe so many people memed on this perk, because when it's upgraded, it is absolutely amazing. So one of the main parts of its upgrades is that it gives you 20% more high-grade salvage and low-grade salvage, meaning you'll be able to upgrade your armor and your weapon rarity a lot quicker than you normally would. This is the case in round-based, but in Outbreak, it's even quicker to be able to get everything you need. I've done a test here on round-based. I played Fire-based Z, I played till nearly round 30, and I managed to get everything upgraded, which I think is really good going. Like, I feel like that's a lot earlier than what you've been able to do before. And I even thought, let me get this perk and test it with all the dig sites on Mauer de Toten, because they drop a lot of salvage, and just to see realistically what we could do getting no other salvage apart from random drops from zombies, and then digging up everything from Mauer de Toten. And I was able to upgrade the rarity of my Gallo to tier 3 on round 6. I don't know if that's overly impressive. I don't think that's crazy, but if we go to Outbreak, the benefits of this perk just keep going. Not only are zombies outlined, but also important events in the Outbreak world, such as intels you haven't collected yet, chests that you've not opened, so you don't even need to tell if it's a mimic or a real chest, because you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to see it through the actual building walls. One of the best features is that during the Fury Crystal World event, where you get the free upgrade to your weapon, you can actually see every crystal that spawns in without you having to run around in that time and frantically try and find them. There's been so many moments where I've failed this because I just couldn't find the last crystal, but with this, it's nearly almost guaranteed because you can see them, and I think this is amazing. For Outbreak, this is definitely going to be one of the first perks you're going to want to get and run, just because you're going to be getting so much more salvage than if you didn't have it. Then being able to see everything like chests, crystals, and everything through walls, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. Let me know your opinions on Death Perception in the comment section down below. Moving on to the second point in the video, and this actually ties in very well with Death Perception and Salvage, and this is a brand new side Easter egg on Outbreak, which is the Omega helicopter. Now, on certain worlds, when you spawn in, if you open your mini-map, you're going to see a helicopter flying in a certain area of the map, and if you make your way over to it, you will see the helicopter will start flying away. All you need to do is you need to just keep shooting at this thing until it is fully taken out. It has a health bar, and once that's taken out, a helicopter will drop an Omega supply crate, and when you open it, you're going to be seeing things that we have never seen before in zombies. And this is high-grade salvage stockpile. So you may have seen stockpiles of, you know, common rarity salvage, but this drops a ton of high-grade and epic rarity salvage. And to break this down, you get a total of 1,500 low-grade salvage and 250 high-grade salvage from this drop. And then when you incorporate Death Perception, you get 20% more. That equals 1,800 low-grade salvage and 300 high-grade. And if you get this to drop twice in a game, you're going to be sorted and have those tier 3 armors and tier 5 weapon upgrades very quick. This is a really nice addition to Outbreak, and it's just an easy way to get guaranteed crazy salvage rates. Keep your eye out for this one, because it is absolutely worth the 20 to 30 seconds it will take you to take down this hind. Next cool addition is the Grappling Hook, and this thing is a godsend. Like, I can't ever imagine playing Outbreak again without having a grappling hook at my disposal. This costs 250 salvage to create at the buildable bench, and this can only be done in Outbreak. You can't get this in round-based maps, but this has a very high chance of dropping randomly from zombies and crates, so I don't advise you building it. You won't need to. You'll come across it enough, and when it drops, you'll have 5 grappling hook uses. You can have up to 10 as a maximum. It works exactly like you'd imagine it to do from Ruin's grappling hook in Black Ops 4 and Blackout, but I feel like this has had a little bit of an upgrade. As in Black Ops 4, when you grappled onto an area, you had to do like a jump yourself manually right at the end to get a bit more height, but this does it automatically for you. So at any moment you're grappling up to somewhere, you'll always get a bit of a boosted jump at the end to make sure you grapple onto the building or area that you're trying to get to. If you're doing stuff like exfils, you don't even need to worry about the helicopter. You can grapple onto the helicopter, which is absolutely badass. Moving on to the next big thing added is the new field upgrade Tesla Storm. This is what its 5-tier upgrades look like if you don't know already. And my overall judgment so far on this thing is that it's an okay field upgrade. I don't think it's particularly useful in Outbreak, but in round base, it basically acts as a defensive field upgrade. If you get stuck in a corner, you just need to very quickly get out of the situation. You just simply pop this and the zombies are more or less stunned in place and they keep getting electrified. And you have about 15 seconds with this effect on where it will kill zombies, don't get me wrong, but it does take a little while. And I think its overall case is that it could be quite useful when paired with other field upgrades like Ring of Fire, for instance. That way, if any zombies go into the Ring of Fire, they're just going to immediately die. They're not even going to touch the players in there, which is great. But on its own, I'm not quite sure. And especially on Outbreak as well, I just don't really feel like it has a place. Maybe I'm wrong. If you find some better scenarios for it, I'd love to know in the comments below. But let me know your thoughts on that as well. Now, a very subtle change they've added and a mini Easter egg is that you can actually keep the specific weapon camo or Mastercraft look to your gun when you Pack-a-Punch it now, because normally you just get a camo on it. But if you don't want to put a Pack-a-Punch camo on your gun, you want to keep it looking the way it does, all you have to do is just give the Pack-a-Punch a little melee. You'll see the Pack-a-Punch machine will like very slightly like turn off for a moment, and then if you Pack-a-Punch, you will keep the camo or Mastercraft look to the gun that you have without applying the Pack-a-Punch camo on top. Now, a new change that they made in Outbreak is they've added a brand new objective. This objective is called Transport, which requires you to drive a big truck that has 2 Ethereum harvesters over to a location where you're then going to have to protect the harvesters whilst they cipher Ethereum extraction from these new dark ether vortexes. There's a little bit of new storyline in the intels that describe them, but this is extracting what they call primordial Ethereum, which seems to be entirely different to the traditional Ethereum that they've been extracting up until now. And you'll hear the actual Forsaken have a back and forward conversation with you that somehow this is directly affecting him, which is great. Once that's done, you've got a minute to transport these harvesters over to a harvesting location. Now, this took me 30 seconds to get to, so if you aren't too quick on this, you can genuinely fail this. So you've got to really be paying attention here. And at this point, you've got to protect the transport truck whilst it's harvesting for a second time. And then once that's done, you've got 2.5 minutes to transport these harvesters to a final location. Once you're near, there'll be a rocket that's going to launch, and you're going to need to put these 2 Ethereum canisters onto the rocket. Now, just like with the other objective where you have to hold Ethereum canisters, you get the same field upgrade, and it's basically the same end result of you loading up this rocket. But there is a little bit of a deviation in the gameplay to other objectives we've seen, so this is quite a nice change of pace. Another subtle change, which shouldn't really mean too much, but it is going to be useful, is they've added subtitles now for when the train is coming through on Mal de Toten on the north and south side, so you know exactly what direction the train's coming in. And sometimes you can hear just like ambient audio of the train, like as if it's about to come through when it already has, or vice versa. That's pretty nice. Now, Treyarch did mention in the patch notes that there are some new surprises added to Mal de Toten, and as of yet, no one's really discovered any Easter eggs per se, but people have noticed some strange changes to the map, starting with a change to a camping strategy in the alleyway in the West Berlin streets. Zombies never used to spawn behind you in a window, but now they do, which I don't personally think is the best thing to do. Like, let people have some fun, you know? And on top of that, there is one clip that I've I've seen over on the subreddit that shows a red mimic spawning from a fake piece of armor that's just there on the platforms. There is literally only one clip that I've seen of that. I've not personally had it myself in game or anything like that. And the last thing in the video is, of course, of the new Outbreak zone itself, which is called Collateral, and it's set in a desert. It's really darn cool. It's not quite as big as you'd expect it to be, but it has a lot of really cool areas. It feels very different to any location we've had before in Zombies, and it's really hectic, and there's also a ton of really cool intel to find as well. That about wraps it up. If there are more secrets lying in Malditoten that we just haven't discovered yet, I will of course update you with future videos. But let me know what you think of the Season 5 content in the comment section down below. If somehow you missed the craziness of Call of Duty sending me an official Call of Duty 2021 teaser trailer earlier, you can find that on your screen right now to go ahead and watch.